Welcome everyone to the Football Exponential podcast. I'm Chika and I'm joined by Frank.
Hi Chika, hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the show.
Frank, Chelsea went away to Burnley and defeated them by 2-0.
Yes.
Was it more about Chelsea or more about Burnley?
It was more about Chelsea finding a way to win in a difficult situation. Because again, I know people look at it as just Burnley ball. When you factor in the whole situation, international break, so players traveling all over the place, players playing 90 minutes all over the place, and you have an early kickoff away from home against a Burnley side that has given some good teams, some tough games so far this season, and they give Chelsea the first few minutes of the game was very tough for Chelsea. But again, Chelsea had to. It's a game I expected Chelsea to find very tough, but I expected them to find a way to win. Like if you want to be really serious, if you want to challenge for stuff, these are games you should be able to negotiate, and I think that's what Chelsea did in the end.
Yeah, my three takeaways from the game was normally these are the sort of games Chelsea struggle because I remember the last time we went to Burnley, I think it was a 1-0. We lost or 1-1. I think Pedro equalized. There was a time at 2017, I remember around February, we went to, I think that was Conte's second season. It was 1-1 draw. My three takeaways from the game was number one, Andre Santos. He was man of the match. We forget he's still 21 years of age. Last season, he played at Strasbourg. He had 34 games, 11 goals, 4 assists. He was more offensive than he was defensive. At Chelsea, he's playing more defensive this season under Maresca. And then for him to play full 90 minutes without Caicedo coming in, that was coming too soon because we've seen Maresca trying to play in such a way that he doesn't get Caicedo in, but it hasn't happened. Always Caicedo has to come in to stabilize. He created one chance, had 3 tackles, 4 recoveries, 5 interceptions, 67 area duels won, and then 71 ground duels won. This is his second start for Chelsea, 9 games total and 380 minutes. That is 35 minutes if you divide him by the number of games he has played. That means he played 35 minutes each game, and he was absolutely solid. At the beginning, Ugochukwu got the better of him in one of the distance. The second, I think it was the goal, he got the better of Ugochukwu. So if he continues like this, at least we can rest Caicedo because I think Chelsea have used Caicedo several times and on a very numerous basis, and then he deserves some rest. So Andre Santos and we forget that he was the captain of the Brazil under
20.
Under 20, and that is very, 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 very big.
And he was also standing captain at Strasbourg for last season as well. Like so again, like speaks to his maturity beyond his years. And again, like you said, it was a top performance for him. I think it's a performance that finally announced the player to Chelsea. Because again, this is a guy that's been at Chelsea for about 3 years now. He's been moved around. It's hard. I think he's found it tough. But again, I think like you need a performance like he had yesterday to just build on something like this is your level. This is what you can do. You show the fans, you show the club, and I think it was good to see. And also with him is also like if you put in context, like you know how long it took Enzo Fernández to find his feet at Chelsea. And even Caicedo a bit similar as well. Like I think sometimes he might need a bit of time to bed in, and he might need a bit of time to show your true quality. And they did that this weekend, which, like for the first time, I think yesterday was the first game Caicedo didn't play for Chelsea in almost 2 years. And I think my worry with Chelsea is I don't want us to over rely on any player. I want us to be very solid team across the board. Like okay, no Kopama. Okay, you know what? No Kopama. Other players have stepped up. Shout out to Pedro Neto, who I know he gets a lot of flack within the Chelsea fan base, but I think he's really stepped up this season. He's taking responsibility. He's scored some goals and he's also created some goals as well. Yesterday was, I think, from your wide wing, from your wide player, I think that's the performance you want. Like
I think he's the most important Chelsea offensive player offensively. He's like he coordinates that offense because the rest are almost all kids. From Garnacho to Gittes to even the striker, he's like the father or whatever that coordinates them.
Yeah, I agree. And again, like you see it in this game, like he's taking responsibility of this of different situations, and sometimes it could be a bit frustrating when how he goes about it. But again, he's always there. He's fit. He always turns up, and for me, he gives 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10 in terms of efforts, and sometimes it doesn't quite translate or it doesn't translate to goals or assists. But I think this is a player that's never really been a goal scorer per se. But I think at Chelsea, he's found a way to find goals at important times. So credit to him.
Then my second mention is Jamie Gittins. He struggled badly in his first 11 games this season. But in the last 4 games, he has provided 4 assists. He's the highest Chelsea assist creator in across all competitions this season. And then yesterday, he had 1 assist. He was the most foul player, 3 fouls, and then he created 2 chances, 100% successful dribbles, and then 4 recoveries. That shows you up the ball. The only problem I have with him, with his game, and he had that same problem yesterday, is he doesn't try to influence the game. He had the least number of touches amongst players who played 90 minutes yesterday against Burnley.
Around 20 something or
something. Around 20, I think 23 or something like that. He had the least, and that is the problem. He's like a passenger. He doesn't unlike Esther. I'm not comparing, but Estava wants to be involved. If you don't give him the ball, he doesn't bother. And
I agree with you on that. Now go.
Then the last and not the least, Magui, 19 years of age. He played 14 minutes only. I was shocked it was only 14 minutes because he had 1 assist, 4 touches, only 4 touches. But he is the first player I can say he's a physical freak. He doesn't look it, unlike Lukaku that was too big.
Yeah.
He doesn't really look it. But for his age at 19, he can stand toe to toe physically. And to me, it's shocking that I would say the lap should learn how he uses his physicality, because the lap is also physical, but the lap doesn't know when to let it go. Gui knows when to let it go, and he presses non-stop. Look at the way he turned Twanzebe for the assist. You could see what he did, and then I'm happy he's picking up. Yeah, he wants something to add.
Yeah, and just to be on Gittins as well, I agree with you. I think Gittins, for me, I think Gittins, he has. If you look at him, he has the package. He has the skill set. He has the pace. He has the like. There was one touch he had in the second half yesterday that was magnificent. Like the touch is like it's a magnificent. He has a good touch. His shooting is good. He can spot. You can spot his teammates. He finds passes, but he lacks. Like you look at him, he doesn't have the confidence of a player that belongs at this level. Like you look at his face, he seems very timid, for lack of better word. He doesn't want. Like sometimes he gets the ball, he tries something, he makes a mistake, or he gives the ball away, or he doesn't takes a shot, it doesn't go off, then he disappears for the game for like a few minutes. You don't see him touch, you don't see him making an attempt for the ball. But I want him to really believe his hype. I want him to believe I belong at this level, I can contribute at this level, I can make. Because again, I believe he really has the makings of a top winger at Chelsea and in the Premier League. But he just needs to believe he's one. And if he does, I think the sky's the limit for him.
Let's go to the next one. Liverpool replied they lost 3-0 to Nottingham Forest at home. My 3 takeaways are quickly. Liverpool have lost self-belief because they were playing well. They were the better side the first 25 or 26 minutes. Yeah. Once the goal went in, they lost their self-belief, and this is what you don't associate with champions. They went downhill, and then they were awful. Immediately they lost the first goal. Secondly, Konate, there was a goal that was disallowed with Igor Jesus. I'm surprised how Konate lost that, but was he looking for the foul? Maybe for the foul, but if I'm a coach, I don't expect my centre back to fall easily. Like, he was awful. He was substituted in 65th minute, and that is not. You don't substitute centre backs that way. He didn't have a good game. Everybody didn't have a good game, but his is becoming more consistent. And then Forest under Dyche. Shout out to them. 6 games, 3 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss, 50% win percentage. And what I like about Sean Dyche is that it's not just the defensive aspect, but it's offensive. They're scoring goals for fun. And maybe he was right after all, and maybe you were right after all, because you've always loved him. I've never been a Sean Dyche fan, and then he's doing well.
And to add to Sean Dyche, that's I think that makes it 4 clean sheets in all competitions, because that was in the Europa League as well. and for a team for a guy that built his whole football ethos on strong defensive coordination, that is impressive. But again, like Liverpool, man, like it's bad. Like it's bad. Because the more you think about Liverpool, like Liverpool in the last two games, the City game and this weekend, have considered 6 goals. Arsenal for the entirety of this season have considered just 6. That they're conceding goals, and like I can get, okay, you know what, you're conceding goals. It is what it is. But the fact that most times, if you watch them, they don't look like they can score a goal. Like with the attacking players on the pitch, talking about Isa, Gakpo, Mohamed Salah, McAllister, the fullbacks as well, Kekes, like they don't look like they can score a goal. And there's this. I know there will be a lot of talk about Liverpool, and some people mentioned the unfortunate situation that happened with their teammates this season. May he rest in peace, Diego Jota. But I don't want to touch that. I don't want to touch it. I don't think, for me, I think it's. I've seen a lot of people talking about what the impact. I understand the impact it will have to a team. I don't want to touch that situation, but I don't want that to become a clutch for Liverpool to hang on. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I know it's tough, but and this might this could be very insensitive, but I feel. But that's not the reason why Konate is not winning tackles. That's not.
That's not the reason. It might play a role, but that's not the. No. I get what you're saying. No, it's not being insensitive.
That's not the reason why Gravenberch. Because I was watching the game in the first 10 minutes. Gravenberch, this tall, strong, physical midfielder, was ducking out of physical tackles in the midfield, losing 50-50, not even contesting 50-50s. And if you look across the span of that team, Isaac does nothing for them off the ball. Like, he's not running. He's not pressing. There's nothing there. Gravenberch, the same thing. Konate, like, there's a lot of talk about Konate and Real Madrid. At this rate, he'll be lucky to be playing at Nottingham Forest next season. Like, it's not. I don't understand what's happened to him. Like, I understand the whole contract situation, but he's falling off a cliff. And for me, the biggest one is, again, I'll talk about it because I know when it happened a couple of weeks ago, I didn't like Virgil van Dijk. After Rooney criticized his leadership, Virgil van Dijk came out, was puffing his chest in front of Rooney for the cameras, doing all that. Since then, they've gone on to concede 6 goals in 2 Premier League games. Van Dijk is the leader. Van Dijk is the leader in this team. And if you read what he said after the game, talking about players not working hard, not putting in efforts, there's something that's not quite connecting in that team anymore. Be it, I don't know if the manager has the charisma or has the personality to motivate this team anymore, and do these players have that extra gear they could go again? Because again, the Premier League, if you lose, even if you just 5% physically across the whole pitch, you're finished. If you're running 5% less than you were game by game, you'll be finished in the Premier League. You get found out, and it's got to a point. Like Slot,
I think he might be sacked. The way I'm saying it. But I won't sack him if I was them. But the way I'm saying it, I don't think this. I see it coming.
I don't know. No, but it's a waste situation. Most times, like when you have this situation, like say Chelsea, for example, you bring in this coach that's not had a top experience at a top club, and he's doing what he's doing. But you're like, okay, you know what? Okay, you don't really like the guy. You can just. It's quite dispensable. But at the end of the day, this is a Premier League winner. Like, forget what we're saying. He won the Premier League title last season, and quite comfortably. But this season, they've just been a shadow of themselves. And is that a reflection of the manager, or is that a reflection of the team itself? Because where do you put the blame? I know they can be blamed that could go around the whole club, the sporting directors, the whole decision to sign certain players, but the decision making of the managers sometimes it's a bit confusing. And if you look at the games that they've lost, I can say in all those games they've lost, I feel the opposition manager has outcoached Slot, has found a way to navigate his team around Liverpool's preparation, found solutions to beat and counteract what they're doing on the pitch. And I don't think Slot has those answers at this moment in time. So I think it's a tough one. I think it's one of those situations where you just find a way to ride it out. Like you change your expectations. Okay, it's no longer a title defense. It's a tougher battle. You find a way to get top 4. Then you go into the summer and you find a way to find a way to rectify it. But I don't think sacking him. But again, that could just be the only. If you get to a point where that just has to be the only solution going forward.
Oh, quickly, let's go to the next one. Newcastle versus Manchester City. Newcastle defeated Manchester City by 2-1. To me, that was the most interesting game this week. It was end to end. I enjoyed the game so very well.
Yeah.
I think Erling Haaland had his worst game this season. Only 8 touches in the opposition box. He missed. Like, you always say that. You always say he misses chances. You always say the person who scores the highest also misses the highest. I think he missed 2 big chances. At least only 23 touches. It was awful.
And also on the other striker on the other side, Newcastle.
What a matter, yeah.
Also missed a couple of big chances as well.
Yeah, but what the matter is tailor made for anyhow. Like, he is just tailor made for that system.
Yeah, it is. Like,
because you could see how he was calling for the ball, the area, the headers, the flick-ons. It was something else. And then my last takeaway is Foden. Like, it's become so bad we no longer even single him out when he has a bad game. I checked this season, he has only 1 goal, 1 assist in 10 games, 9 stars.
And I think it's funny you mentioned Foden, but I think like, if you know football at this level, this kind of games are defined by moments in those games. And I think there was a chance Foden had before halftime to make it 1-0 that he missed. And you could tell by Guardiola's reaction to that miss, like, he knew at that moment that this could be it. If we take the opportunity, we score first, we could win this game, close the gap on Arsenal, put pressure on them because they played first. But Foden didn't take that chance. Newcastle obviously then scored, then City found a way to come back. But the goal City gave away on the second goal was very, I think it was just poor defensive play from City.
It's poor. And Donnarumma should have done better. He's that big. It was just poor.
Donnarumma confuses me because he could be one of the tallest goalkeepers in the league, just by size, and be one of the biggest goalkeepers. But when it comes to defending concept pieces, he's terrible.
He's very awful.
Like, he has no presence when it comes to defending those situations. But again, both City it seems like this team is still 1 step forward, or 2 steps forward, 1 step back. There's always a hiccup around the horizon for them. But of course, they're still in it. Erling Haaland will still do his thing. But I think the other guys need to start playing well. I think they need, like, again, we talked about Doku a couple of weeks ago. Still had a fantastic performance against Liverpool, but that's 1 goal in almost 6 months.
He went to bed last game. He went to bed.
That's 1 goal. That's 1 goal in almost 6, but it's not good enough. Foden needs to start chipping with goals. Shaky the same as well. They can't just rely on Erling Haaland. That's not sustainable. And again, Mamouche, another no-show from Mamouche today. This weekend, I don't understand what's happening with him at that club. It's really been tough for him there so far. But again, we'll see. But I just want to give credit to Newcastle.
Yeah.
They targeted Man City's like the way Man City set up, where they compact the midfield, everybody's close, and they exploited them on the wings with Harvey Barnes
and Jacob Murphy.
Jacob Murphy, and the wing back and the fullbacks as well. Lewis Hall and Liverpool, they've all had fantastic games, and I just want to give them a good shout out.
Last and not the least, Arsenal, I defer to you. What do you have to say about that? It was 4-1, right?
Yeah, 4-1. 4-1.
I looked at the setup. I felt Tottenham set up very well on paper. I looked at it and said,
I saw the team sheet. Okay, I saw the formation. I saw 2 names in that midfield, Paulinho and Bentancur. I believe that partnership midfield is the worst in the Premier League. Those 2 guys together, they're the worst centre midfield player in the Premier League. It's not good enough. They're not good enough. If you watch them, they literally can't pass the ball. Like, Paulinho, for one, like, I give him credit. Like, he's one of the best. He loves to win the ball back. Yeah. But with a team like Tottenham and how they want to play, you expect them to go to Arsenal. I know, of course, they'll be under pressure at times in that game, but you expect your central midfield player in that game to be able to receive the ball, find his teammates, push the team a bit forward. But they couldn't get on the ball. Like, and whenever they go on the ball, they give it straight back. Paulina, for the first goal, it was Bentancur. On the second one, it was both of them at the same time giving the ball away. But again, I know I like Thomas Frank. I'm a big Thomas Frank fan, but I feel like this is one of those defeats. I don't like you look back and like okay, like I don't see the manager coming back from this. I know because again, it's not necessarily just his fault because again, the tools are not there. I don't think they have the right midfield profile at that club. But again, it's just you don't perform the way they perform in a North London derby. They create
but
the first half. In the
for
first
what
half,
they want to build, I think he needs time because Arteta, if you remember when Arteta took over, he had games like this and even worse games like this.
No, I know, boy. Again, like in the first half, they had no shots. They had 0 shots. Their XG in the first half was 0.000. They ended up the game with a 0.07 XG. I know they scored a goal. Like the Richarlison goal was a fantastic finish, but that's not a repeatable. That's not something you expect. But again, this is the team across is the pattern in their games where the Chelsea game they didn't turn up in that Chelsea game. The United performance was average at best. Arsenal and on some other games they've had at home, and with big games coming in the next few weeks, I think it's just he needs to find a way to. I think he has to sacrifice a bit where if you because I think I understand what he's trying to do is okay. I'll make the team that is not quite good defensively solid first. Then we'll build on the attack going forward. But I don't think it doesn't work that way. You can't just build the defense then forget the attack because you need to score goals too. So he needs to find a way to get some of his better players playing. Martin still disappointed in this start. Xavi Simons disappointed. I was disappointed in this start until he came on the pitch. Then I saw why. I understood why he didn't start. But again, I need to give Arsenal a lot of credit today. I think with what happened on Saturday, Arsenal going into this game, North London derby, with the opportunity to increase their lead in the Premier League title, I think they performed really well. And again, Eze. We've all been waiting for the Eze performance, the big Eze performance, and this was it. And it's ironic, like he come up against the club he
won that. And it's also ironic that Xavi Simons costs more than Eze costs. Yeah. But look at what the two of them. I would have preferred getting Elliot. No, not Elliot. The other guy, Morgan Gibbs White, than Xavi because at least Gibbs White helps in defense.
Yeah. Because again, I know it's not to jump on the whole Daniel Levy situation, but I was listening to Sadio Mane talk about Sadio Mane's interview with Ferdinand this week, and he talked about like he had the opportunity to join 3 clubs. The first was Manchester United. He went there. This was amazing, but he didn't get the vibe. He didn't understand the project, and he didn't feel his fit in that club because they had Rooney, they had other players in that team. Well, he went to Tottenham. He was in the building at Tottenham. They had meetings. They had conversations. They were just almost across the line. Then Liverpool called. Then he moved over to Liverpool. And this is the story with Tottenham the last few years. Like imagine Tottenham signed Sadio Mane under Pochettino. Like that could have been the sign that takes them across. And again, like bring it back again to today. Like they were in for Eze. I don't know what stopped it. I don't know if Eze really wanted to go, but ultimately they didn't get Eze. And you come up against him today. It's like football is funny stuff that you come up against him today. He scores a Premier League hat trick, which to be fair to him, amazing finishes. But again, like Arsenal, they are. I think Arsenal are set. They are setting it, and it seems right now the only team that can stop Arsenal is the team in blue in London. So we look forward to that game next weekend.
Okay, that should be all for us. If you like our production, smash the like button, comment. If you want us to cover any particular topic or player or club, just drop it in the comment section. Share, subscribe. Thanks, Frank. Have a good one, everyone. Bye bye.